thing about my van that bothers me the most is the fact that the spare wheel is mounted under the van. So if you have a blowout somewhere like a motorway, dual carriageway, whatever, you've then got to crawl under the van to get a spare wheel out, and that is not safe. So I looked at different options, and I figured the best way to have it was to have a rack and mount the spare wheel on the back door. So I've got one from Lambert Engineering, I think from Castleford or Wakefield, that area somewhere, and this is it. Okay, so I got this on eBay. I've mocked it up. I've put these the wrong way around. I don't want these visible when the spare wheel is mounted on here, so I decided to put them that way around, but looking at it, they're too close together, so I'm going to put these on the other side. There's a lot of adjustment built into this, so I've mocked it up, ready to get an accurate footprint. I'll put a piece of cardboard underneath something and get a footprint of where the holes are, where it needs attaching to the van. These are the big bolts to attach it to the door. There are some washers for them in here. Now I'm going to take it to bits and show what bits are actually in the kit, because these aren't the same. There are two of one shape to one direction and two the other, as you can probably see there, and it's the same with these as well. They've got cut, one of them is a perfectly round hole, the other one is slotted, and they're done on opposite sides so that you've got proper adjustment, top to bottom, front and back. Okay, so I've done pretty much what dismantling I need to do, just to show what's what. I actually started mocking this up before I decided to make a video, but since I'm mounting this in a funny place on the back door, I'm going to be mounting it on a slightly curved surface, I think, or a slopey surface and a straight surface. This kit allows you to do that. There's all the adjustment in it. Curved slots on here. It lets you mount it any old way. So you get two pieces like that, two pieces like that, which are obviously different. Two pieces like that, two pieces like that. The mounting plate itself, and just enough nuts, bolts and washers to do the entire job. So I'm intending mounting it either with two attachments here and two attachments here, or instead of here, on here instead. You've got to think about, well, three things actually: not blocking the number plate up, not blocking the tail lights up, and not blocking that door from opening. It's just a case of getting it central on here, really, and that's it. Okay, so there aren't any instructions with this. You just have to take a logical approach. It's pretty obvious how things are supposed to fit. This gap will only fit these pieces, so that piece won't fit there. The gap is wrong, so it's obvious where things are supposed to go. So you can't really, although there are no instructions, you can't really go wrong with it. Okay, so looking at this, the bottom feet are going to have to be turned the other way up so that they're on that slope, because they're at the bottom, they're like that. They're neither here nor there, where these two are flat. So I had to take a float pan out because I didn't realise the spare wheel was accessed from the inside. Now I haven't got the original jack, but it's only a half-inch drive, so which one does with that. Anyway, once this one time is done, that could be covered up and forgotten about. But it's basically out. Okay, so this is hours later. I've been out for lunch, so we're getting frustrated as hell. This is still set up floor. There's a bolt to undo there that looks like it's supposed to be undone by hand. I can't get a spanner on it, but it's rusted in. There's no chance. How are you supposed to go on if you have a blowout? I have no idea. That is pathetic. Anyway, I can't undo that, So because I'm not going to be using it, I'm just going to cut everything off. I'll try and undo that bolt first, take all that off, wind this cable in here, because I might be able to find a use for that later. It's possible. This bolt came out quite easily, but I've got this out by hand. But what the problem was, I think, is that this piece, I think this is supposed to spin freely, and it's actually caked in rust, and it's rusted into this bit. It should free up okay. Might be able to use it for something else if possible. I don't have stuff like that. I'll tend to keep on off chance. Okay, so I'm just offering this up, just to make sure I've got clearance on these bits, and I have. That's not going to touch the sides, so that'll do me. I can get on with it. So this is a very handy tool if you've not got one. I suggest getting one. It's a proper panel remover. So I'm just double checking here, so I'm looking for potential problems. That's low enough not to be a problem, but there's a little one under here. You can see where my finger is, just about. That's potentially in my way, and that's actually the only problem. So if I can avoid that, I'm laughing. Trying to get this lettering off without damaging the paint so much. I've bent the corners of this up. I've put a couple of little tiny scratches in, but hopefully I'll not get any more than that. And it's going to be hard to sight behind there anyway. So, but I need to put these, I want to put these on the wheel cover. So I'm just getting spare wheel inside a quick wash. It's rusted up pretty badly. Wheel it don't look very good, but the tyre looks like the original new one. That's in perfect condition, which is a bonus. Okay, so I'll start with the centre one. Mark to centre line, put the end in, then I'm working either side. Remains to be seen whether they'll stay stuck or not. I'm using clag grip that I used in the van recently for something else. But it's a very shiny surface, so it may not stay stuck, we'll see. What's affecting me thinking at this moment is that panel moves a bit. I don't like it. That doesn't at that point. And it's better here as well. So if I can possibly mount it there, that will be the strongest mount possible. It's not so bad there, but it's just right in the middle of that panel. So I've already had this against it, marked it up, got my holes. Now what I'm going to do is remove these two sort of base things and then just fit them to the van and then fit everything else around it. Okay, so I'm just going to put a blob of Sikaflex on the back of these before I mount them, just waterproofing. Struggling to get this one tightened. See if this works. So surprisingly, that worked really well. So now, I'm just going to clean up after myself, clean that silicone seal off, Sikaflex off. So carry on tomorrow. Okay, so I'm obviously taking that piece off. I'm going to take this piece off at this side. And I'm going to slacken everything and juggle it all to actually get it to fit square properly. That wants some loosening, twisting around that way a bit. Everything looks miles out at the moment. That's because these won't adjust it as well as the angle of that twisting that way or whatever. So I'm just going to loosely fasten the fixing plate to here and then start tightening everything up a bit before I can mark out where the bottom holes need to go. So I've got it fastened together on just these two without much problem. But as soon as I get these next two on, I slacken these off and just slacken these off, just let it all kind of fall together. So as you can see, I've got that on that face which is sloping like that, but you can see now the amount of adjustment you've got with that. That will also go around that way to make this face flat. So that is about it, I reckon. Possibly there. Okay, I'm getting pretty close. I've got these at an angle that should match that. It's just getting toward a slightly curved surface there, which is a bit of a concern, but I think I've got the angle right there anyway. So now it's just a case of it just wants moving in, these slackening it either side and just all pushing in from there. And that should get that flush. Okay, so that's the adjustment done. That's very flat. That one, not quite so much. You can see a little gap there. I'm going to slacken these two off, just see if that can improve a bit. It might do. But that's close to being it. So obviously I put masking tape on. I can mark my holes. Just looking at this inside panel, this is more or less opposite that one. This has come away anyway, so it's not actually doing anything. It'd be handy if I could bolt it right through that and strengthen it up with this, but I think it actually comes a little bit lower than that. We'll see. So I've got that one in. I fastened these two up, so that's pretty firm. So that's just the last one to do. It would be handy if I could get that washer over that, and that'll strengthen all that up. That would be fantastic, but I'll probably not manage it, we'll see. So that washer comfortably went round that thing, which really strengthens up the panel. Not much movement there, that's solid. Okay, I found a couple of problems with this. I've had the wheel hung on here, still haven't got the wheelness yet, but the tyre at this side is hitting the body, so I'm going to have to move that out a little bit, even if it's only a case of angling out that way. Also, this tyre is a 235 65 16. The wheel cover is made for a 235 70 16, so putting this round it, that I think will fasten alright. It's just that this is too long, it's fouling itself, so I'm going to cut it down here by about 1.5 inches. Okay, so a quick 10-minute adjustment to sort it out. That's flush on there, it's not touching down there at all. Perfect. So unfortunately I think I'm going to have to cut this down as well. I'm a bit concerned about this. This is the more awkward job. Yeah, definitely wants cutting down, which is a P. It is. Okay, so I needed this shortening a bit to clip it properly, so Drilled 2 fresh holes, I had to drill it out, drill rivets out, cutting it a bit shorter. So after a lot of adjustment, now it fits properly. So due to a failed delivery, it's over 2 weeks since the last bit of video. So I've finally got the nuts to actually put the wheel on. Finally, that's the cover on after a bit of adjustment.